Guys, I promise we'll eat lunch soon. I got to do this show right here. Hey, it's Ken again, SSK promo, Mr. Bill, the DOG, and seasonal Santa. You can see my beard starting to come in here nicely. And welcome here on a Thursday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern, doing my Ken versus 10 live show where, well, I got a death pile. I'm sure everybody has a death pile out there that is in reseller land. So I'm going to try to get that listed 1 or 10 items at a time. I'm going to try to get 10 done today. I tried to do that on my first live that was last week, and I got 0 listed for the whole show. Just trying to figure out how things work. And so today I'm going to do a little bit better job. I actually kind of cheated, I guess if you call it cheated. I have all of my items are already drafted and ready to list, but we'll show you what I'm listing and what I'm drafting and what I'm selling and such. But being that it's Thursday morning, I normally have a sale that goes off on Thursday morning, and I like to send out offers and get a new sale set up and stuff. So let us see. Oh, and I do my shipping today. I haven't done my shipping yet. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. And we got let's shoot for 3 today, Ken says Ray or Dustin. I'm not sure which one is tuning in there from the Nashville Flippers, but we're going to try to get all 10 of them done at least today. So thanks for stopping in, Ray. But I have 17 items that I can send out offers on this morning. So I'm going to take a look at those right here because my sale goes off. Normally, the way that I do things, most all of my stuff when I list them is listed a little higher in pricing. And I'm always running a sale in my store. Normally, it's about a 20% sale. So I'm 20% higher. And when that stuff goes on sale, it gets it down to most of my pricing is right in the range where sold comps are. Sometimes I'm a little lower, sometimes I'm a little higher, but usually right there on the average. I do take a lot of offers on items. So if it's a little bit higher, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room right there to be able to deal with folks and always having that sale. The mentality of that is that if somebody sees something on sale, that people are going to buy something on sale before something that's not on sale. So I try to do that with that mentality in mind. Some people will search other items, maybe find the other one that's cheaper, but if they're running across mine with my promoted, because I do promote pretty much across the board all my listings, and I like to use that the advertising dashboard on eBay. I'm talking all these sales are on eBay. I do that platform primarily 99%. I do some stuff Facebook Marketplace, more local pickup, but I have not branched out yet into selling other um, on other platforms yet, which is something I'm gonna work on a goal in 2023 to get out there a little bit more. But we've got also in the chat our good friend Gail, small town picker, is on there. Howdy, good morning to you, Gail. Thank you for showing up. So I'm going to look through some of these items here. So what I do as far as sending my offers is send when my sale goes off. I run sales normally like Thursday through Sunday and then Sunday through Thursday. So they're kind of always refreshed, and it gives that sense if a person sees that an item is going to end, a little bit of urgency that they're going to try to get that item before it goes off sale. So when the sales go off, I send offers. I'm usually sending offers through the week too, depending on what the pricing is, but I do that in bulk. And so I send those out to check the chat here. And a good friend also, Erin Rebel Junk, is in there. Good morning to you. And she's saying hi to Gail as well. Gail and Erin, had a listing show on Wednesdays. I haven't seen it for a few weeks. I know that Gail is getting ready to retire from reselling in January, and she's switching her channel over. If you had been following her reselling, she's switching that over to more of a travel channel. She's Her and her husband are going to go travel the countryside in an RV that they bought, and so that is pretty cool. And Jimmy, old school flicks, pep talk time. Be funny. I'm going to try to be as funny as I can. And there's my gal Jill right there. Good morning. She should be working right now, but I'm glad she's tuned in. And yeah, we're going to try to just be absolutely hilarious today. A little bit less jittery nerves than I had the first time doing this thing. But if you want to see some shenanigans and some funny, check out the Reseller Clickbait podcast. I'll link that down below in the description of this. But Jimmy Old School Flips and I do a weekly podcast that comes out on Mondays at 11. Oh, well, we just talk reselling and whatever topic might come to our mind comes up. So that's always fun. And check out Jimmy's all over the place on the internet. He's got the Old School Flips channel, and he's got Old School Resale, which is a new channel that he's doing that's showing more of his what solds than and then more sourcing stuff on the Old School Flips channel. So I'll link those down below as well. And I see Ray is asking Jimmy if his video hit 2 million yet. And yes, it stopped right at 2 million. Jimmy had a TikTok video out there that just kind of went viral, just blew up. And so check out Jimmy's TikTok and Instagram. And the same with Nashville Flippers. Ray and Dustin, they got content out all the time. Every time I turn on the IG or the TikTok, they're on there. And they got the Sunday Night Live podcast. They do This Week in Reselling, I think it's called, with Ray and Dustin, and they usually have a special guest, and they play games, and it's just real good fun. So okay, offers. Wait, I gotta see. This is how things happen. I'm gonna get to the end, and I'm not gonna have anything listed. So, but I'm gonna send out these offers first. I usually do it in the bulk listing, and today I go through and I see if there's anything that's been lower price that I don't want to send an offer on. Looks like today I'm going to do the standard 20%. I'm sorry that I always look over here all the time and not right into the camera. I should probably readjust my camera, but I got this view going on right here. And if I put it over here where I'm looking at it, you'll see the big mess that is my office, and which is generally just destroyed all the time. So I am going to look here at, usually like to try to tell people, hey, this is a second chance. If they missed the sale on the item, here's another chance to save. And so we are going to send out 17 offers right there this morning. And see, maybe during the show we'll get hit. A lot of times right after I send offers, if somebody's been watching or they're a new watcher of an item, it'll usually generate a sale pretty quickly. And let's see, we got the chat over here. 20%. Yes, Gail, that is what I usually do my offers, because when the sale goes off, those items go back up to their normal listed price, which is normally about 20% higher than what I'm wanting to take forward, or what gets it in line with other sales that are out there, other comps or other similar items. And 10% or less, well, they might not respond, because depending on where your original pricing was, and what you're willing to take. Everybody has a different strategy. That's the one thing that I found out from watching a lot of different YouTube resellers, is everybody has a different strategy. There's not really one perfect, correct way. It's what works for you. Items that you find are able to find and source in your areas are completely different from the items that I can find. Everybody's going to find a lot of the same sort of stuff. Different clothing, different shoes, video games are popular, toys, but you it just depends on what you're finding in your area and what you're sending out your offers at, where your original one was. But we'll see if I can get a bite on some of that. Um, okay, so there's Gail is normally listing at exact sale comps, and she doesn't list higher. So that's a strategy. I know that Gail has, good sales a lot of times when they were doing the Wednesday live listings show. So that's working for her system right there, is to put those a little higher, not always running the sales. And so here's another strategy. Jimmy Old School Flips is saying that he lists at the market price and then sends 10% offers to any newly listed items. And I know Jimmy's sales are usually through the roof if you watch any of his content, or I have the misfortune of talking to Jimmy quite often. Wait, I'm sorry, did I mean, I have the fortune of getting advice, hints, tips, and suggestions from Jimmy all the time. Little cider, apple cider mixed with some Coke Zero right here to wet my whistle, to keep me going. It's fall. I love apple cider, and I love the fall time season because it's fresh. We got a couple local orchards around here that make great apple cider. This came from Apple Hill, which makes the greatest donuts. And a good friend Joe, Philly Picker. What's up, Ken and everyone? Thanks for coming, Joe. I appreciate that. Caught Joe here recently on Cat the Nurse Flipper's show. He was co-hosting with her. And I think Mike, I know it's Mike, can't think of his name, but check out Cat. Heyo, did you hear that? Might have got a sale right there. Let's check this out. My item sold. Yes, it was an item that I just sent an offer on, and I will show it right here. It was, if you can see that, if it focuses, a Santa head blow mold that sold for, well, that says 99, but I think that it actually sold for 79.99. I had it listed at 99, and boom, sent that offer. And what was that? Like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, that sold for me. My dad actually picked that up for me at a yard sale. I think he paid $2 for it. And so there's a nice $80 sale right there. And yeah, very cool blow mold Santa. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. And Jill was saying, love that Santa. Yeah, it was a very cool Santa head. So he cheated on the 10 and is still winning. I got $5. Oh, Jimmy's betting the under or the over. The over under is set at 10 for what I'm going to list today. So, hey, we're going to get that Santa head out today, but I got a sale last night. I only got one sale going out today from yesterday, but it was a pretty good one. And it is right here beside me. These are the brand is Bob Barker, and they make a lot of that I've seen clothing for like inmates in prisons and such. And I had did an online auction from my local prison that had closed down, and they were auctioning off everything online. And so I bought this bag of clothing that had all these prison pants, Bob Barker, inmate worn pants. Heyo. Oh, that was the buyer paying for that item with the shipping. That blow mold went plus shipping. So these pants right here, they were all 4XL size, and they've been listed for a little while. I got these kind of towards the middle of summer or so. But in that lot, I figure I have about $1 a pair. And one buyer, I have already sold one pair, and there were some other inmate t-shirts that I sold. In one of the previous reseller clickbait podcasts, I was talking about buying a bunch of prison Crocs. I got a bunch of orange pairs of orange prison Crocs that are still in a box outside in the garage, in the death pile, not listed. I meant to list them before Halloween, but I didn't get to it. And that's hence this show. I'm trying to work through the death pile as best I can. And 10 items at a time. I try to list at least 10 a day. There's different theories to listing. Some people list by dollar amount, some people list by um, quantity each day. Whatever you use for your format, just list. Consistency in listing. There is nothing in as far as eBay, and I'm sure a lot of the other platforms are concerned as well. Listing is the best way to produce sales. Of course, if it's just sitting in a box out in the garage, it's never going to sell. I 100% guarantee that. But listing it gives it a chance to sell. And just if you keep consistent in your store, you can run all the sales, you can do all the promotions, everything, you can send coupons, whatever, but there's no better way to get sales than listing. So, cha-ching. I got a sale on an offer I sent on the Fostoria cake plate for 129. Nice. Sweet. See? It's the show's working out for everybody. Guess your show is good luck. Yes. You should tune in every week. Let's see. All I have to do is talk about Christmas songs every time he starts the list. He won't get anything done. That's all good. Yeah, yesterday I woke up in the morning and I just felt good. I felt motivated. I was ready to go for the day, thinking about getting everything listed for yesterday, plus preparing for this show today. And I cranked up the Christmas music and just because I love Christmas. I can listen to it all year long, but when we get to this time of year, you start to see things in the stores for Christmas and commercials start to be Christmas. I get super festive and I just go nuts and I listen to Christmas music. And of course, I'm getting ready here in just a couple weeks. This will be all white. I'll go into full on Santa mode, and we're going to do that beard unveiling, the whitened Santa beard on the Reseller Clickbait podcast when we get probably the week after Thanksgiving. I'm doing the actual bleaching on that weekend after Thanksgiving. But yeah, I don't I dance around. I if I would list as much as effort as I put into dancing around. And these guys back here, they try to keep me in line. They're not very motivational. They usually just complain. But you got Commonwealth Hudson right here. You got Fleet Frank right here, and back up the most unruly one up here at the back is Old Scream Flips. He wants to stab every buyer from every offer. And Ray saying, great show, Ken. Nice sale on that Santa head. Thank you, sir. And Jill, FYI, you have another Santa job opportunity. Oh, I haven't gotten to tell you about. So I have booked a couple Santa gigs for this season already. And I'm super excited about that. I love to just spread festive Christmas cheer to everyone and to get to go and actually do the Santa Claus thing where you're meeting with the kids and finding out what they want to get for Christmas. It's just a blast. But anyway, prison pants. I was talking about prison pants. I had got, I don't know, there's half a dozen pairs. I sold a couple of them already, but I had one buyer last night buy the rest of them, 4 pairs at like I said, I think I had about $1 a pair after I, broke everything out, and they sold for $34.79 each pair, and they bought 4 of them, so that's about right around $140 sale right there. So for only having 1 sale yesterday, and part of that again is my fault. I've been a little lax in listing is why I'm really trying to get back in and motivated. I have been very consistent recently, and doing this show is very motivational as well. Oh, look who is here. Great show, Ken. Nice sale on the Santa head. That is my dear sweet mother. They are watching, my folks are watching next door. I live next door to my parents, and so they are over there next door watching the show. So, hey, mom and dad, good to have you on here. And Jimmy wants to know, what's that tree behind you for? Well, okay, so I haven't actually talking about this one right here. I actually haven't decorated for Christmas yet. I usually wait until closer towards Thanksgiving or maybe that weekend of to decorate the house. The week of Thanksgiving, I put all the lights on the house, outside on my house and next door at my folks. And then the Friday after Thanksgiving is when I usually crank those up and turn them on. But this right here, I was listing some cool Christmas ornaments yesterday, and when I was looking at all of the other sold comps on them, I saw that some people were using props. Now, I usually don't put props in my photos or extra accents and stuff, but it really set it off. So I went out into the garage to look in my Christmas stuff and get all of my greenery and to put something on there. And it didn't I couldn't find it. So that right there, I actually went over to my neighbor's house. They have a big pine tree way out in their backyard, and I took some snippers and I went and just cut a big hunk off the end of the branch and did that. But I think if you can see this, these are an old Jewel Bright, like, diorama. This kinda has a clear front with that poinsettia, uh, and greenery in there, and I just think that that pine just makes those things really pop. The picture, man, if I do say so myself, that's almost professional. It's like I had someone come in and do that photo, and everyone's saying, "Hi, mom." Jill, but it's mom. Hi, mom from Gail. Hi, mom from Jimmy. My folks, I'm going to talk about my pop here in just a little bit when I show one of the items that I'm actually going to get listed. But I have a question for you here, first of all. I want to see in the chat what you guys think. So, the person that bought all of these prison pants right here, hey, Fantasy League update, send in the picker. It's so they paid for the shipping, and it was a multiple quantity listing. And so the shipping is kind of calculated on what you had the first original item listed at. Now, the buyer on these ended up having to pay $34 for shipping. It's when I go, because they are relatively close. I'm located in Ohio, and these are just shipping to Illinois, which is, yeah, a couple states over, but not that far, still kind of within our close zone. So they paid $34. When I ship these out, it is going to cost me $8.52 to send that out. I have it up on my screen right here. I'll throw them in a box, and it's about 5 pounds or so, but it's going to be $8.52, which is a pretty big difference between the $34 that they had to pay. So, hence the question, do any of you ever refund some of that shipping money back to the customer because they paid so much extra in shipping than they normally do? Now, most all of my shipping I do as like on a flat rate system where I put it in there and I, look at zip codes and I find what the average rate is or what the highest rate is to ship something. Normally, I use that 90210 zip code out in California so I can see, what the highest rate is. And I put that rate in there, and it's a win some, lose some proposition most of the time when the shipping is. But in this instance, on the multiple quantity and they bought all 4 that I had left, that's, whatever 34 minus 850 is. I'm not a mathematician. I don't do math, but, oh, what is that even? 34 minus 8.5 equals $25.50 that they paid extra. So let's see what we're seeing in the chat. And Aaron says, yes, refund for sure. And Gail is saying, anytime I've refunded because of the difference, I've never hear back from them or even get a thank you or acknowledgement. So I just quit doing it. Jimmy says the shipping is high because they purchased multiple, right? Yes, that is correct. It is higher because they they purchased all 4 items. I didn't have any sort of special rate set up. Normally, these would have just shipped out in a priority mail padded flat rate envelope. I could fold those up and stick it in a padded flat rate, and that's I don't even know what that is now, between $8 and $9 to send out with the rate increases that they've come up with. And so, what do you think? So we've got 2 that say refund for sure. Now, Gail, I back to your comment. Yes, I have done that before. I've sent a refund to somebody just because sometimes I feel it's the right thing to do, depending on the difference. Sometimes I split that difference with them. In this case at $25, I might send them back, 12, $13 and, keep because I still have to box them. I've had to store them. I had to buy them. I had to list them. And all of that is usually worked into your price as well. But I'm trying to just, get a feel for what other resellers are doing. Would you refund? Um, and Jimmy says, only if they ask for a refund would he send one. I have not had any contact from them so far. And Gail says, "Oh, I have a had a conversation about shipping on multiple items at once. Yes, I would refund the difference, but they buy one item and the shipping was less than what they paid. I don't refund." Yeah, agreed. Yeah, if it was less, because sometimes that does happen on multiple quantity items. The shipping gets a little lopsided depending on the weight and how it fits in the box. Tell them you'll refund the shipping overage if they tell you why they need 4 pairs of prison pants. That might be a whole show in itself. Yeah, so Erin's saying she doesn't refund a couple bucks, but probably like $5 or more. And so yeah, I'm gonna consider that here what I might do. They obviously knew when they purchased it what that shipping was going to be. They had an option to contact me and ask for a little bit better rate if they bought all 4. And so, at this point, I have a tendency to feel that the buyer does understand how much they were paying for this item, and so a refund may not be in order. But as a buyer myself and a consumer, I would always want somebody to try to treat me fairly. I do that with my shipping, and I ship stuff how I would want to receive it. Because I see a lot of things come in, and it's like, I would never ship something that way. I my folks had ordered some hairspray, the 4 bottles of hairspray the other day, which should not be able to go. It should have to go as a ground shipment because it's a liquid. And it just came in 2, they had put 2 padded flat rate mailers together and shipped it shipped it that way. Here's 4 bottles of liquid that are in it's like I would never do that. Plus it's kind of breaking the rules. Hey, everybody can run their business how they want to run their business, and I'm not would never be a snitch on something like that. But I try to pack orders. I try to treat customers the way that I would like to be treated. just because I think it's fair. I'm usually a fair guy. So I'm going to contemplate this one a little bit and see what I want to do. Uh yeah, some people don't care. Not everyone is on a budget. Again, goes back to I feel that everybody they knew the buyer knew what they were paying when they did it. And you know what? I'm 30 minutes into this show and I'm going to try to do about an hour show. And I have nothing listed so far. Um And Jill says, if she agrees as a buyer only, I would appreciate at least the offer, even if you split the difference. So yeah, good comments, good takes on that stuff. And so I'm gonna put these to the side and I'll go ahead and I will ship out that Santa head today too. Although I usually have 1 day shipping on all of my items. But if I have not done my shipping for the day and I get a sale, I'm definitely going to pack that thing up and get it out of here because people, again, I would, if I bought something, I would want somebody to ship it out to me as quickly as they could. Plus, when buyers get stuff sooner than expected, everybody's always happy. A lot of my feedback that I have is about my shipping, that shipped fast, it came, that it was packaged well, and so, that customer service is the main thing. And we got Paul, the flippin' sports guy, nothing listed after 30 minutes. We've been learning a lot from Yakov Benz. Yeah, Jake's Jake's live listing shows. I love me some Jake. His live listing shows are about like this one's going. But you know what? Oh, there's a good friend. Thrifty Santa right there. That is Barry. Ho, ho, ho. Howdy, Ken. Nice to meet another reseller Santa. How many years have you been Santa? I have been, I have always done something towards being a Santa over many, many years, but only, and I'd say about the last 3 or 4 years, I've been going full out doing the beard, bleaching it out, and really kind of going into it, and it's fun. I like I say, I've always done something where I dress up as Santa. I've always had a Santa costume. A couple of years ago, I bought a better, higher quality one because I take the part seriously. When I'm out, when I am in Santa mode, I play the part because I would never want to be the one that ruined it for a child or misrepresented being, the big guy. So that's I do take it serious. But I always, when I was off for vacation, I was always off for vacation during like the week of Christmas, before Christmas and between Christmas and New Year's. And I would dress up in my Santa suit and I would go around to all of my siblings and my family to their places of business. And I'd wear my jingle pants, which my jingle pants were this red pair of like sweatpants that I actually hot glued jingle bells all over the front of the thighs of them. And so I'd go into, their places of business and just try to embarrass my family. And I'd, shake my jingle pants and and just cause a ruckus and hand out candy canes and cookies and treats to everybody. So I have done that for years and years. But Barry, Thrifty Santa, you need to check him out. He is the genuine, real deal. I did talk with Barry a couple Santa seasons ago, a little bit about doing Santa and coloring the beard and all of that. I thought jingle pants were the result of going commando. Yeah, sometimes the old jingle bells get to ringing if you are commando. People can start to see your sugar plums in those cases. But hey, wait, I shouldn't be talking about that. Let's get something. What do I have to list here? I'll show you a few things that I'm going to list here. Let me pull up my drafts and we'll talk about a few things. Again, I'm sorry, I'm always looking over here. But oh, come on, computer. Computer runs fast every day until I need it to. Okay, here, let's talk about. Oh, we'll talk about this first. Right here. These are some Nerf darts, Ultra 20 in a pack. And Jill had actually picked these up for me at a store that was clearancing them out. They're brand new. They're actually from 2021, 2022 is the copyright on them. And they clearance them out a buck 75 a package. And they had four of them is all they had on the shelf. So she bought all of those, all four of those, and I am going to sell them in a lot of two for about 24 bucks. It looks like I can get for those looking them up. So I do have that one drafted, and that's, I would consider that a retail arbitrage, going to a regular retail store, buying an item that's either on clearance or at regular price and listing it. It does make it a lot easier. There is no cleaning to it. There's a lot of times you can just scan that barcode that's on the bottom and find similar items, do a sell similar, and take a few photographs and list those. So I am going to look at this. Are you guys ready? I'm getting ready to push the button here and list my actual first item on my live listing. And he says, list it. Done. One. If I knew how to do one of those little scrolly things across the bottom, it's Ken versus 10. Ken versus 10 in the death pile. And right now it's Ken 1, death pile 0. Or I should do a countdown. It's actually Ken 1, death pile 9 at this point. Thank you, Ken. Always happy to help. We need to talk sometime and exchange tips and tricks. Yes, Barry, I would definitely love to do that. I'm about my lifelong goal is to join Forbes. Now, yeah, I would love to be on the Forbes 500 list for, my reselling and make that much money. But the Forbes that I'm talking about is the Fraternal Order of Real Bearded Santas. There's actually a group out there called Forbes, and it's for guys that do Santa that have a real beard. And I just think it's fun because there's a big debate in the Santa world of whether a fake beard or real beard. One of the things that I do as well, I've kind of talked about this before on the podcast show, is right after the holidays, usually in that first week of January, I will shave everything off because I don't want to be, again, confusing to a child. You don't want to be out and about, out at Walmart or the thrift store in the middle of March looking like Santa Claus. So I usually shave it all off and start over. And usually the July 4th weekend is when I stop shaving. And here recently, I'm back into beard maintenance, which is always a pain. There's a lot of trimming. I get it oiled up. I brush it a lot. You use your beard balms and your beard butters and your special shampoos and all of that. It can be quite tedious by the time you get through the whole Santa season, but that has nothing to do with listing. So I'm going to list another item. I am going to talk about these right here. These are 45 record cases. Now I picked these up on the Route 30 sales when Jimmy and Sonia were here visiting for the Route 30 sales, and I picked up these record cases, and I paid $1 for each one, and they had records in them. I'm not really overly excited about the records themselves because there's not a whole lot in here that's of any value. There are some things. One thing I learned everything. My dad has always been a big record collector for as long as I can remember. And one of the things he says is a lot of times the sleeves can be worth more money than the actual record. Now I'm not saying that this one is, but Share the Land and The Bus Driver by the Guess Who on a picture sleeve. I did look at a couple of these records, and man, they are just sweet and really good shape. No scratches or scuffs. But there's some good stuff in these piles here that I'm looking at. I did comp a couple of things, but for the most part, I'm going to take these records, put them to the side, and that will be for another day when I actually list. Here's the raspberries on a Don't Say Goodbye. There's the Carpenters, Drusilla Penny, and Sing. And I've looked up a couple of these, and I only have a couple of bucks in these, and a lot of times 45s are only going to go in, the two, three, four, $5 range, depending on what they are. But there was one in there, I forget what it is, that I think I can get close to $10 for. Just in itself. So I will look through all of those. But what I'm really interested in is these cases right here. The old 45 record cases, they sell. The sell-through rate is great on them. I was looking up one this morning, and I think there was of a different style. It's just an all brown one. I think there were like 66 listed with sold comps or solds of 72. So that's over 100% sell-through rate on there. And most of these ones right here that have the cool designs on them, I'm going to probably get about 30 bucks a piece on these. Most of them sell $25 to $35. So I am listing them at $37.49 is what my listing will go up at, and then it will go on a sale and be about $29.99. And that's what I've been seeing these go for. So I have a buck into these. If you're at the yard sales, thrift shops, whatever, and you see 45s, there's probably no interest in the 45s at all. But pick up the record boxes. That's another thing that, my dad has taught me over the years, that it's not always the music. It's not always the artist or the record itself. It's what goes with it. It's the record cases, the sleeves, different things that have to do with that vintage audio and record players and stereos is what you want to look for. So I have these drafted right here, and I'm going to resume those drafts. And whoop, I did that wrong. I'm going to go back right there because I clicked the wrong item. I clicked two of them or I clicked another item that I was going to do. So, simmer down. So let's go to the chat here while I'm trying to figure that out. And sunny Las Vegas, the reseller cartel. Good morning, Mr. Monikers. That's right. I got SSK promo, Mr. Bill, the DOG. I'm a seasonal Santa, El Luchador, WR Hart. I've got all kinds of different monikers. And the Reseller Information Network, that is most likely Eric that is on here. Check out that channel. You want to see a good channel that's informative reseller information. Each week they do deep dives into stuff. They go over different, from just a basic newbie reseller perspective to teach and to learn. They take any questions, no matter how simple. You get a lot of these different reseller groups that are on Facebook that somebody asks a simple question because they're new. We all had questions in the beginning, and they did a lot of times the comments are brutal to folks, and these guys are breaking it down, making it simple. No question is too simple for them to answer. So go check out. I'll link it again down below in the Reseller Information Network. How much for the tree branch on the picture station? Well, that's free. If you have a neighbor that has a pine tree in their backyard, and it's starting to get a little bit, dark or dusk, and out there where because you don't want to have a flashlight and call attention to yourself. You just take a pair of quick maybe some wire cutters or a good sharp pair of scissors and just go nip one off right there. And that one, the pine needles are already falling off of it on my station there. I took it down to take some photos this morning, and there was pine needles already all over the place. But I am getting a nice Christmassy vibe in here with the pine smell. Yes, been subbed to the reseller info net. Sunny Las Vegas is subbed over there. Sub to Sunny too. If you're in this chat, sub. Okay, wait. Sub to my channel first. If you're in here and you're not sub to my channel first, and then hit all these other folks. You know, Aaron Rebel Junk and Gail and Small Town Picker and Jimmy Old School Flips, the Flippin' Sports Guy, Paul, Thrifty Santa, everybody that's in here. I appreciate everybody showing up. And I'm at 45 minutes right now. And I've got what? Three? I didn't even list that one yet because it was giving me uh continue. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Submit those two listings. So those record cases are now listed. So it's Death Pile 7, Ken 3, I guess is where we're at on that right now. So, okay, next items up for sale. Now, this probably isn't the best time of year. Oh, I'm going to make wait a minute now. Apparently Jill and Jimmy are conspiring behind my back and betting on whether Ken will actually make his goal yet. Hey, I'm going to make the goal if I have to do a 3-hour show and nobody's watching. But so again, I've got this death pile, and sometimes I try to. Right now, I'm listing a lot of holiday stuff. I try to keep doing that ahead of time. But other items that might come up that aren't the best time of year to sell them is like coolers. So let me show you this. This is a wine bag cooler right here, round, holds 5 wine bottles. Here's another cool soft-sided cooler, 24 pack. This is a kind of a longer bag right here. Another style of a 24 can. But Jill had saw these in a store the other day that were all on clearance for real cheap. They were like $3 a piece. And so I said, sure, go ahead. She called me and showed me some video, what she was looking at. And it was like, let's, go ahead and buy. I had her get me a couple of each of the styles just to try it out and doing the comps. I should be able to get around the average price is going between, say, 20 and 25, like 23, 24, 25, even up to $30 on some of them. There's not many listed at all, and there's not many sold comps yet. So comment here, let's talk sing along songs. That should seal the victory for me. Yeah. Ba. Don't even get me started. Simmer down, Neil Diamond. That's what I have to say. But anyway, I bought all of these, 2 of each style. So that is going to give me a multiple quantity listing. So, oh, wait, I want to go back then to those Nerf darts that I did. I did have 4 of those. And I listed them as quantity of 2, and it's a multiple quantity. So when I'm doing listings, does that actually give me 2 listings or just 1 listing with multiple quantity? Or how can I count this? Can I be ahead of the game already? It's Jennifer Hayes right there. Who forgot the thumbs up? I'm watching this on the StreamYard side, and so I can't really see if how many people are watching currently. I know there's at least 3 I can see right there in the chat now, probably more than that. Somebody, if you can see how many are watching, I would appreciate seeing that number. But yeah, so does multiple listings quantities give me more than one listing, or does it give me just one listing? So I have all of these coolers that I have drafted, listed. They're really nice because they will fold up. I'll be able to put them in a poly bag to mail them out, and they're very lightweight. So all of them are still going to come in at under 1 pound. To it's skirting right there on the edge, about that 15.7, 15.9. But going through eBay is where I do most of my shipping, between eBay and Pirate Ship. And I would use Pirate Ship more, but I reached out, tried to get them as a sponsor of the Clickbait podcast. And well, okay, I didn't really reach out to them. I just kind of dressed up like a pirate on the show and tried to entice something. But all I got was a cease and desist letter from the legal department over there at Who Let Sunny In Here. Just one listing, Aaron says. That's all that I get. That's all I get credit for in the show. But hey, it's my show. It has my name on it. I should be able to say I got you're welcome and hello, Kacherka. If somebody didn't know how to pronounce that, it is Kacherka 25, which is Serbian for a daughter, is what Kacherka means. But I have all of these listed and drafted, ready to go. So, boom, take this death pile right here. I am going to, that is 5 more with the click of a button. Done. So I've got 2 more. So we are now at the count of Ken has 8. Death pile is down to 2 for today. And uh yeah, I wanted to be their mascot, Jimmy, over there at Pirate Ship, but they weren't buying it. I don't know. I couldn't really come up with something for Kraft Macaroni and Cheese to be their mascot. It's the cheesiest. See, it's the cheesiest, and I'm kind of the cheesiest. You would think it would be a a match made in heaven. Actually, when I used to DJ years ago, and that was my DJ name was Kraft MC, and I was the cheesiest DJ out there. So let's see. So I have two more things to list for this show. And the guys back here, they're getting hungry. We didn't have breakfast this morning, and they were grumping at me. I talk to these guys when I'm listing, when I'm usually dancing around listening to the Christmas music, and but they're hungry. I'm getting hungry. But what else do we have here? Oh, this is a cool item. This again, this is an item that Jill had found. They were at a yard sale when we went to Seville, Ohio. Has a big citywide yard sale. We've been going to that for probably over 20 years or so. I did post that in Garage Sale Nation, so that should show up when it comes up. It's like the third weekend in June every year, and it's a citywide. It's definitely worth a trip there. If you can drive, I don't think I'd take a plane to get there, but if you could drive to Seville, Ohio, check that out. But she found these. Um, they're called e-bags. This is a toiletry kit, but they're like a cube packing system, like to really compact and make things flat. And this was the toiletry bag. I think she paid $3 for these at the sale, and they're all brand new. Hindsight 2020, I probably should have bought some more of them that day, because they're going to sell right around $30 for that particular bag. And so they're pretty cool. Actually, I should probably, if I like to travel anywhere, if I was actually going to leave my house and go someplace, I should probably keep those so that I have um, something to put my toiletries in. You know, Everybody's got toiletries just laying around the house, and Do they have a dinosaur for the mascot? They're making that Ken dinosaur saying, "Hey, simmer down, Joe." Ken and a dinosaur, the same thing. Yeah, I am getting up there. Um, and Jimmy said, "Oh, those blow molds." Jimmy had a awesome sale on some reindeer blow molds, and they went to Columbus, which is just about 50 miles south of me. Uh, yeah, I've been selling my blow molds. This year, I decided all the blow molds that I had, I would list them on Facebook Marketplace first and try to sell them there. I left them up for about a couple of weeks, and some of them are still on there, but I've had about 3 good sales Facebook Marketplace, which saved the buyers money because they didn't have to have them shipped. It saved me time, effort, and big boxes not having to ship them. And so that was pretty cool, and then I did eventually after a couple weeks, I listed them all on eBay, figuring that, wherever they sold first, and this Santa head went out the door, uh, right away. So, okay, so the next of the e-bags was this set right here. It's a six-piece. They're called packing cubes, and this was a six-piece value set. So if I can find a zipper real quick, and if anybody's actually interested and cares, inside here are all of these different size bags for the cube packing system that they have. Really nice. Uh, this denim color. They're a real soft mesh too, so that they don't damage, your delicates when I'm carrying all of my delicates around. Oh, I had to list some ladies' delicates. I had actually somebody donate to me or give to me some items, some ladies' intimate garments, um, and I had to list those. And I don't know, it's just a little weird playing with sports bras and varying cup sizes. And so, yeah, those travel bags are kinda cool, and I think she paid $3 a piece for them. The the smaller toiletry kit, I should get about $30, right around $30 for that, and the the big six-piece, bag set, oh, I just dumped them all over the place, is around 45 I should be able to get for that. And so we're going to resume that draft. Again, I had those all drafted already, and then I go through, I add pictures, blah blah blah, finalize my shipping, and I can click submit all on that, and boom, Ken wins the day. 10 down, death pile 0 right there, 57 minutes and 53 seconds. Of course, I would never be able to take all those pictures and comp and list that all and get it done in any sort of time frame that somebody would want to pay attention. Although, who doesn't like to listen to my dulcet tones here on the internet? But yeah, that's kinda cool. Those bags are kinda cool if you travel. I'm not much of a traveler. I will go places. My motto is, love being there, hate getting there. I'm not afraid to fly or anything. It's just not my favorite thing to do. And so, yeah, exactly. This is a QVC moment right here. Fake news, fake news. Ken wins. Ken wins, and it's just his second show. I'm sure that we'll have big failures coming up recently, but those are some of the types of things that I am selling. Again, all of the cooler bags, those would have been great to have in the beginning of summer, but I didn't have them in the beginning of summer because they went on clearance just now that summer is over. So, but I went ahead and listed them. I'm going to my death pile, and you have all of those things that you find at the yard sales and thrift stores or whatever, and you're super excited about them. It's like, oh, hey, this is a great item. I'm going to get this listed and I'm going to sell it and I'm going to make all this money. And then you get home and you don't get it listed, or maybe something needs a little bit cleaned up on it, or something that you didn't see with it. So it kind of gets put in a pile. And even though it was the most exciting, the greatest thing that you ever found, you go thrifting or sourcing the next day and you find the next new best item ever. And that gets all your attention. And so you list a couple of things out of that pile of things that you got that day, and the rest goes on the death pile. And then pretty soon you got this, monumental. What size of a pile is a mountainous pile of items that you need to list. And then you go back into the pile. I think I just saw one on Sunny Las Vegas, if he's still in here. I think he was the one that sold a finial dabra, or a Christmas tree topper, that he said he couldn't understand it. So he bought it for like a couple of bucks and he sold it for like 40 bucks or something. And it's like, why did I let this sit in my death pile for all this time? I constantly go out there into the garage, when I say out there, um, and I find items that I get clean. It's like, man, why? And you put them up and they sell in like a day or two, or, within the week after you listed them. And there's an extra, 30, 40, 100, $150 on an item that's just been sitting out there. It's like, why do I not get them listed? And, some of it is, motivation, laziness. Some of it is just getting to them. I do bring in a lot of items. All of us that do reselling go out and find a lot of stuff, and you can't get to it all. And we got in here is Gravity Goods. My good friend Cameron out there in Oregon. And he's a little late to the party. You're really late, my friend, because we're just about ready to shut this down. And Ken is like the Astros, a lot of outside assistance. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Cameron. Jill is saying hi to Cameron. Good morning. And Chris, Cajun reseller, Mr. Plush. I learned tons from Chris on plush. Actually, one of the reasons why I started selling plush was seeing some of his videos and seeing some of the things. And it's like, really, I never thought that an old stuffed animal would have any value, or that somebody would want it. But man, I've got tons of plush. I've sold tons of plush, and it's one of my favorite categories to sell in. It can be pretty long tail on some items, but after you've built up that quantity of listing on good quality stuff, it's almost like a bread and butter. I'm always selling plush, and that's, you might get a profit of, 10 bucks, 15 bucks. Some plush can go for hundreds of dollars, and you don't come across those all the time. But to be able to have something that consistently sells, even though a particular item is taking a long time to sell, that category sells well for me anyway. And I just I like to sell a plush, and got some highs and hellos. And our good friend John, Cincinnati picker, plush is so overlooked at garage sales. I agree. And John, let's keep that our secret, because we don't want everybody picking them up. And most of the time, people are getting rid of them, a quarter, 50 cents, a dollar. If I have to pay more than a dollar for a plush, it just, drives me nuts. But if I know it's a good value, I'm going to pick it up. Of course, after I've negotiated a price on it. I'm a big fan of negotiation in items. Uh oh, there's a little dig right there. Jimmy unfriended me the other day in all categories of life. I sent him, we had a big um cookout over last weekend. We had a fire. It was my dad's birthday, and we usually do like a birthday slash kind of Halloween, where we roast hot dogs, and we have apples, not apples. Yeah, we dunk for apples. Everybody's bobbing for apples around my house. We have cider and donuts and all of that kind of fall type of of stuff, and Kraft macaroni and cheese, of course, because nothing says fall like Kraft macaroni and cheese. Nothing says any season like Kraft macaroni and cheese. But it's yeah, there's Rebel wants to know, Aaron wants to know, how's Ricky? You got to follow John Cincinnati Picker if you're not following him, which I'm sure that you are already. Ricky the raccoon who lives in the dumpster out behind John's building there. Every day he's in there getting his morning breakfast, and John goes and puts a ladder, lets him get out. It's great to follow along with the saga of everything. But Ricky is cool, and I see a whole line of merchandise coming for from John on that. Um, Saw him on Monday. Last was the last viewing of Ricky, but that's a great saga to follow along with. So I don't know if there was anything I needed to cover today. We're a little over an hour now. I want to try to keep this around an hour. The chat's been lively. I appreciate everybody that showed up to help support me. I'm going to throw some links down in the bottom when this video posts, and we're going to go episode 2. Ken wins 10-0 versus the death pile. We will see you next Thursday at 11 a.m. Or check out the Reseller Clickbait podcast that comes out on Monday mornings at 11. That's me and Jimmy Old School Flips, and we talk reselling and just goof around and interrupt each other and jab at one another in a good friendly sort of way. But we do try to pass along a little knowledge there. So check that out. If you see a name in the chat, go look them up. Most everybody in here has a good YouTube channel. Mom and Dad, I'll see you in a few. I'll probably walk over after the show's done just to debrief and see how things go. So I appreciate everybody coming, and we'll catch you next time. Remember, everybody have a great afternoon and a profitable tomorrow.